Have I stepped into a parallel fucking universe or something?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have a quick snafu with voice here.
How goes it?
He has come back,
Dude,
and we are ready.
know.
I am one of your fearless co-hosts. I am Kevin Kalloway, the Chaos Goblin, and I'm going to pass it right back to my boy, the man who runs the show, Joshua J. Joseph Voice.
How goes it, everybody? I don't know what's going on. Maybe the government's tapped into my little cam here, and they're like, no, you're not going to start with everybody else. But, you know, we're here. Kevin, congratulations, Kevin. I thought that was awesome. You took control. I don't know what the hell happened over on
Sometimes
this
you just
end.
got to improv some stuff. It was, you know what?
Sometimes
The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away.
So true. So true. All right, Kevin. So we are here. We are back. It is another Monday Night Raw review on a Tuesday with me and Kevin Kalloway. And we're here to talk some Monday Night Raw. But before we get into that, Kevin, how has your week been? What's been new with you? How have you been doing, my friend?
It's been good. I keep trying to plug away at some of these games to finally have my catalog finished. I finished the Dynasty Warriors Origin DLC, which was really fun.
Ooh.
Basically just walking around and killing armies and armies upon soldiers with weapons. So, you know,
Love it.
what could go wrong?
No.
And I'm like this close to beating Silent Hill F. So
Ooh.
I'll be ready for Resident Evil 9 coming out at the end of the month.
9. Can you imagine that, man? We're at 9.
I know. I've been playing them. My first one was 4, but I went back and I've played all of them since, either via remake or original versions.
Now, are you old enough to remember when the first one came out and after beating it, wondering if they were going to do another?
So I didn't play the original when it came out because when it came out, I was like 6 or 7. So Resident Evil would have scared me to death.
Yeah, that's not a good choice if you're that age.
Well, I played my first one when I was a teenager. I don't remember exactly when RE4 came out. I want to say it was mid 2000s. So I would have been like 9th, 10th grade.
Not bad.
Probably about that. And I wondered if they were going to make a 5. Because Resident Evil was an acclaimed series for number 1 and number 2, I think, but 3 kind of split fans, and then they went off in different directions. So there was a big question they would do 4 and how they would do it. So when 4 came around, they changed the controls entirely. From, I believe, 3, Code Veronica, and a bunch of other games, they had what's called a fixed camera. Do you know what I mean by that?
Where it's fixed onto the person?
No, it was fixed onto the landscape.
So
it was like you were looking through a security camera while you were playing.
That's lame.
Well, at the time, at least, it was very difficult to navigate the situation of like, how do I jump scare people by hiding things? So what they did is they put the camera in a corner so that they could hide enemies around a corner. And then they jump out at you.
What?
I know. So you could
was
see
this
them.
every time?
Not every time.
Okay, I was going to say, so then you would know.
Times to make you worry about every corner, but not enough that it would actually be every corner. Is how I would describe it.
Okay.
And then, you know, you'd also have moments where, you know, you walk down a hallway and like a dog would jump through a window, and like that would also be a part of it. But when it got to RE4, it started what's called third person camera, which is you basically looking over the shoulder. Think like Gears of War, think games like that. where you're right behind the person, like a Luca 2 camera in Super Mario.
Okay.
There's a
I
Luca
got
2 behind him.
I got you, man. I'm following this conversation.
When they started doing that, it really changed the game for survival horror games in general, because this opened up a lot of different factors of how to do things. Because now you had a 360 camera. You didn't have to hide enemies behind walls. They still did. You could hide them. You can have them spawn behind the person. You make them hear. You make them fear.
Yeah.
And that was a game changer for a lot of stuff, because then Silent Hill 2, the original version, actually used the fixed camera, the overhead camera with fog. And when they started using more of the lay-on camera where you would move around with you, they could use the fog to hide enemies in Silent Hill 2, which is another survival horror game. And it's been fascinating to see how survival horror has evolved and figured everything out while also using some of the older stuff that worked.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And Silent Hill was the one that got me. Those were the ones that freaked me out. That fog, all that stuff.
Dude, they still freak me out. I was playing the remake of it, the remake of Silent Hill 2.
Ooh.
Chef's kiss. It's so good. Oh, yeah.
Something to check out.
I think if you liked Silent Hill 2, the original.
Oh, I did.
They redid Silent Hill 2 as a full remake. So they kept all of the story, but they remade some of the things involved with it, including making it more of a third-person camera instead of overhead sometimes.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So it's full third person, and they brought the fog back.
Well, that could be a whole new element then. That would be fun.
And it's creepy. And the sound design in it was always good for the first one too. For the original Silent Hill 2, rather. The remake of it redesigns the sound in a better way, in my opinion, because it just has more ability to do so, because you don't have as much like garbly tone, right? And they still have the what I thought was always the creepiest for me for Silent Hill 2 was the static in the radio. Because when you got near an enemy, you would just hear the radio go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like, fuck, where is he? Fuck, where is he?
I love it. I love it. That's fantastic. Yeah. Big fan of those types of games. And it's cool to see you dive back into them and, you know, give us a little insight on them. I love that. I love that.
Ready for RE9.
Ooh, it's close though, right?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, man.
End of February. I'll update to Peepo when I get to play it.
I can't wait, man. That'll be a fun discussion. Maybe we'll get some gamers in the chat talking about it. But what we're going to talk about now is the Monday Night Raw, in which we just watched last night. Some big moves, some big moments, and some really good storytelling. My opinion is really good Raw. Really good Raw. I enjoyed it.
I think they moved the needle enough to make it feel more like we're getting into, again, that Mania season to get you excited about some things. And I think for a long time, and this has been WWE's practice for the longest time, really, is they'll have a summer season after Mania where it kind of ebbs.
Yeah.
And then they'll go into SummerSlam season and it'll kind of flow a little bit, but they're still waiting for Mania. So they don't want to blow everything. They just want to give you enough.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like another barren wasteland a little bit, because Survivor Series doesn't feel as important now that it's War Games.
It really doesn't. And we
when
talked
about
War
Games.
That.
It just feels like they're going to a tag match with a bunch of people who like don't care about each other, and they're trying to manufacture an issue.
Yeah.
And I think when you had the old Elimination Survivor Series matches, sometimes you had issues in those, but sometimes you just didn't. It was just a bunch of interconnected people with interconnected issues. And I thought that worked for a better play, because that's what you're really doing, even in the War Games.
Yeah.
But War Games feels like such a step up that, like, why are we using War Games here? And that's a whole nother conversation. But during that time, you're not running as many of the storylines, and you're not doing as many of the things, because you're just not advancing things. You're putting it on the back burner.
That's true.
Now, after Royal Rumble, that's when stuff starts coming back. And they'll start doing callbacks of what they set up. They'll start doing other things of what they set up. So now we see all the pieces come together, because they're always planning for the next Mania season. They're not planning for the next, Survivor Series right now. They're planning for the next Mania season.
Yeah.
What are we going to do next year?
And it really guys like last night, especially with Javon Evans just blowing the world away with
That was
these
sick.
moves. Like, this kid is such a phenom.
Mhm.
I can't wait to see his career just blossom. But that, to me, that's mania mindset.
Yeah.
Doing those big things, getting your name out there, because people are talking about that kid today
Mhm.
because of that last night. Another thing I would say, the promo between Liv and Stephanie felt real.
Yep.
This is the first time, I will say, for me as a fan, Stephanie Valkyr felt like she was comfortable inside the story she was trying to tell us, despite any language, any barriers of that essence. She was just herself in that moment and let it fly.
I think what she ran into, and this is a lot of hindsight, is 2020. It's hard to see this maybe in the moment, but now that we're seeing the emotion come out, we know what we've been missing. I think for a long time, Stephanie Vaquer was playing it too cool. Nothing got to her. She was like, I'm the best, and I know I'm the best. And that mindset isn't that of a baby face.
No.
That's a mindset of a heel to be outward, right? So if we're going down that road, I think she was doing a little clash, almost a clash of what she's trying to convey. You know, she's trying to convey a confidence, sure, but it comes off as a cockiness to some.
Yeah, an arrogance.
An arrogance even. And I think some of the looks on her face also portrayed that. On top of which, this is not a shot at her for being Spanish, or I think it's Spanish speaking or Portuguese speaking. I don't know what's Chilean. Because she couldn't convey it in English as much, she couldn't get it across that she wasn't cocky.
Yeah.
Because she just had limited verbiage to do so, which now she has the verbiage because she's been, learning more English and being able to do both. But on top of which, when she gets emotional, what did she switch to? Voice?
She switched right to her native tongue. And
Exactly.
that's exactly what we talked about with her when we were discussing this months ago. And I think she really knocked it out of the park. I was highly impressed with her. I was highly impressed with Liv and Dom in the moment too. But to me, that's like if Kevin, tomorrow you got a call, hey Kev, we need you to cancel being a teacher. You're starring in this new movie with Robert De Niro and all these guys that are like legitimate actors. You're going to take that moment.
Yeah.
And you're going to be in there and catch some type of rub from it. And what I really love about Dom and Liv, they are those characters right now. Those are the ones you want to put. Maybe you've heard some grumblings from the fans about one character, and if you put them in the right light, everybody's going to get it. I think they've seen that with Stephanie and Liv in this moment, and adding Dom into it, especially when he looks at Liv and he's like, I don't want to tell you what she said. That was perfect.
Perfect.
Dude. And just Liv stepping back to her. I know you're a liar. Like, I love that shit because there's a reality to it that we can connect with it as the fans. That was the most easily digestible segment that Stephanie Valkyr has done outside of moves in a wrestling ring.
And you know what? You said something important there that I think gets lost in some wrestling. You said it was easily digestible. It was a simple issue. And it was backed up by history, and it was backed up by something that's happened that we've all seen.
Yes.
We don't have to go back into 20 million history books to figure it out, or be an insider knowledge to be like, ooh, she said that.
Yeah.
No, it's, hey, I hate this bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the same thing, it's the same basic blueprint with different details that they're running with CM Punk and Roman.
Yeah.
Hey, I hate you. What makes you think you can stay here under my watch?
Yeah. I love that too, because these two fit into that role. You can switch out it, and the story is just as good. As no matter who you're a fan of, you're going to become a fan of the other one because the story is so good.
Yeah.
especially in this climate we're in today, in the social climate. Like, this is something that you can create huge fan bases off of, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Speaking though of creating huge fan bases, Kevin
Mhm.
Calloway, look what we did on the old charts. Look at
Yeah.
this, man. In Your House is topping some charts. We have hit in the Wrestling Apple Podcast charts in the United States. We are at 123, brand new on that chart. Senegal, we are number 19. That's
You know
pretty
what's more
good.
telling for that Senegal one?
What's
That's
that?
where we have been. Do you see that arrow? That means
I
equal. That
I do
means we
see,
didn't just get there right now.
we've
We've
been there.
been there.
We've been there so much that they're just like, we don't even have to do weeks.
In Your House
Equal.
just lives here now.
This is where they are. And guess what? We are number 45 in Nigeria. Yes, my friends, we are hitting the charts, and we are, we got a top 20 in one country and a top 50 in another.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking good,
That's
man.
pretty
I love
cool.
that. Yeah, that's awesome. So, you know, this is a cool thing. If you're out there and you watch live and you're from these countries, let us know.
Yeah.
We'll definitely highlight you, and give you your little props for helping us out in your country.
Yeah. Shoot us some questions. We can
Yeah,
answer them. I love grab
exactly.
bag mail.
We absolutely do. We have talked about that.
Yeah.
We're just waiting on fans to give us mail.
Yeah. Just give us
Anytime
mail.
we get mail, we will
Well,
be
like
doing
even
this.
then, like with the Discord chat, shout out to the Discord chat. We've had some asked in there that we've answered on shows before
That's
too.
true. We did do a little bit of that.
So
We
like the more that people interact, the more that people get back to us. Like we want to hear those things. Because I'd love to do a mailbag episode. Shit, you
Yeah.
can ask Kevin anything. I'll answer it.
Yeah.
And or voice or whoever, whatever our thoughts are. We'll those are the most fun episodes.
And we
I'm
got
not
the
saying that I don't have fun with you week to week voice.
Oh,
But
no, I
boy,
understand.
I love your engagement and talking to people and answering the things from the people who are listening and giving us things.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's how we make our bread and butter here,
Yeah.
man. And we got the boss. He's liking the idea. So fans, if you ever want that, hit us up. We'll give you the Discord, or you can send emails, even messages on the posts that we put out there. The behind the scenes team handling all the media and social media stuff are doing fantastic
Mhm.
with Jones leading that team. We're moving those charts. That says it right there. That's the proof in the pudding. Proof in the pudding, though, my friend. What'd you think of Finn Balor and CM Punk? Give it to me, Kevin.
I liked it a lot. I think this is a great stopgap for Punk before Roman. I do not believe in any of my heart of hearts that have ever been a heart that Finn Balor will win this match.
Not one.
Not one.
Oh, I'm with you.
The best case scenario is it's somehow a triple threat. That's the best case scenario for him. I don't think it's the best case scenario for the draw of a match. I think the draw is the singles match between Punk and Roman for Mania. And as much as I'd love to see Balor in some large scenario like that, it's not that he feels out of place in that scenario. He can go. He can be that star. But I think everyone's far more interested in Punk and Roman and how they're just going to hate each other. If we interject another issue, now it becomes a triangle. Finn hates Punk, but what if Finn and Roman ever had against each other?
That's true.
So now you have a loose end. And I think that becomes more of a problem there. And I could see that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Finn does look like a soccer hooligan a little bit.
All right, there you go. Fighting's one. Since Kevin agreed with your comment, you're getting pinned.
I don't think think Finn can win the match. It's just not going to happen. That being said, what this can do is sow dissension more in the Judgment Day. And there is a certain Judgment Day member who has a singles title. And that's one Dominic Mysterio.
You've been talking about this.
And I think that's what we might get based on what we saw on Raw. because they were in their clubhouse, they were talking, and Finn was just off in the corner feeling disregarded by the rest of his team. And then the rest of his team went over and were like, "Hey man, I don't think you can do it anymore." That's basically what they said. "Hey man, I think you're going to have to give this up." Oh, Finn's like, "Oh no, I'm not." And that sows dissension in itself, because now when Finn loses, now he has a gripe with everyone who said he couldn't do it. And now he can fly off the handle there.
Yeah.
Now you have a ready-made Mania match for Dom and for Finn. And I think that's going to work. And you could give Finn the title there. I think the problem you run into, though, is who will be face and who will be heel.
Yeah.
Because switching Dom while connected to Liv, I don't think is smart. But Finn has more momentum as a heel right now than he does as a babyface, I think.
Yeah. I seen that too.
It's
a different world though, like in different promotions.
And I think AAA does that because their original plan, they had to actually pivot that plan because of everything with Vikingo. Oh. Because it was supposed to be Vikingo and Dom probably going for that title each, right? Okay. And it still is, because I believe Vikingo just challenged him to essentially a hair versus title match or whatever.
I think so. I think
something
that's
like
what's
that.
Been thrown out.
And Vikingo was supposed to be the face. I guarantee you that was the original plan. But once the Del Rio incident happened and Vikingo was crowned and everyone down there's like, wow, whoa. And then they treated him like Roman was getting treated back in like 2014, 2015, where, he was the anointed child and everyone's like, we don't anoint him. Yeah, he's not our child.
They reject.
We would like to see a DNA check on this child. And when that started happening, I think the people in the back were smart and they went, okay, it can't be Vikingo now. So Vikingo has to be a heel. Who can we put him with? Oh, Omos isn't doing too much. Let's put him down there as his heavy. Now you have Vikingo hiding behind Omos, who is a killing machine down there and booked as such.
I love that for him.
I do too. He makes a great. From all reports I've ever heard about Omos, is he's one of the nicest guys. Yeah. But when you're that tall, it is tough to do matches with someone that tall, who isn't as flexible, who isn't as bendy. Like the largest two people who had matches that were any kind of anything were Big Show and Andre, really. Because even Yoko at his height weight, you couldn't do much with Yoko. Mm-hmm. You would bounce him around a little bit here and there, and then he would eventually fall down and then lose. And then that was the game. But Andre could get up for, scoop slams. He could get up for things. He can make people look good. He didn't have to take a bunch of bumps, thank God. But the bumps he took were meaningful and he could do them. It was the same with Big Show. Big Show didn't take a whole lot of bumps. He got chopped down. He got knocked down. He got jumped on. Whatever. It was all the other stuff. When Big Show took a bump, it was meaningful. When Omos eventually takes a bump, it's going to be meaningful because that's how they're booking him.
And that's smart to do with him, because now whatever was, I don't want to say taken away, but whatever left the allure to him on the main stage is now being rebuilt back to where we as fans seen him. Like, you don't have to take a guy, and just because the fans get behind him, he's going to be at the next Mania and he's going to headline. We as fans don't want that. We don't want all of our favorites to be champion.
If you have all of your favorites as champion, there's nothing left for anyone. Like it's not. It's so tough sometimes to speak with some people who want those new stars pushed, because I don't disagree with them, but it takes time. Mm-hmm. I get that you want to take a risk and just throw a title on a new guy, but it doesn't really work that way. No. Not in a backstage way, and not in a let's build people up way, because to build people up, they have to be built up first to the title to make it meaningful. Otherwise, it's just a shock. And then what happens? And I'll tell you what happens. Remember Kofi Kingston?
I do.
Remember Kofi Kingston's title reign? You know how it came
I
out of
do.
nowhere and it was kind of a shock and everyone just got behind him?
Yeah.
What happened after that?
Not much.
Nobody really believed him as champion.
No,
They
just
wanted to believe him as champion, but they didn't believe it yet. And because of that, it's hard to book him in matches because, like, you don't
That's
really
a fair point.
you don't really believe it. And, you know, oh, you can't believe this happened, you know, all that stuff. It's cool for the moment, but those are the kind of things that, like, Matt Cardona, he was Zack Ryder at the time, but he won the Intercontinental title surprisingly at a Mania, right? He won a
I
ladder
remember
match,
that. Yep.
and nobody was expecting him to win that match.
Nope.
Then they took it away from him the next night. That's how you build sympathy for someone, if you capitalize on it, which they didn't, but they should have. Because then you have sympathy for a guy who just won. He just had his Mania moment. He finally did it. Then he lost the title.
Yeah.
That's how you manufactured it with Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan ended up getting that title reign from Mania because he won the title from Cena at SummerSlam. And then who came out? Orton came out, cashed in. Who turned on him? The ref turned on him because it was Triple H. I don't know how they could have buried Daniel Bryan at that point because now what they've just done is created all the sympathy in the world.
I know.
And then what was your plan? Just to have Orton face Batista? There's no way. There's no way. Because they did a proper build without trying.
It's so funny that whole Daniel Bryanson one. They literally made him the kid sitting on the side of the road with a sign that said, "I just need some food," and the big eyes and the little puppy sitting next to him. Like, they made him the ultimate baby face in that moment.
And they weren't even trying to, because by all reports, and they'll deny it to this day because they've sent out other reports, they were not planning on that in the slightest. They had, because everyone was basically hijacking shows to get Daniel Bryan into the main events, they had to. They were going to do Batista Orton. And it would have been the most legendary shitting on of a main event if they would went with that. It wouldn't have worked.
It's crazy.
And they had the perfect build right there. And they gave it to him, and then they took it away for no reason. And then people got pissed. But that's the difference between how Daniel Bryan's went and how Kofi's went.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan had all the way from SummerSlam to get more sympathy, right? To get people behind him, to say, hey, this is our guy. Not your guy. This is our guy. And then, but Kofi came out of nowhere because of an injury to somebody else. Because Mustafa Ali was supposed to be in that spot. So Kofi originally wasn't supposed to be in it at all. And he ended up in the Elimination Chamber. Once he got into the Elimination Chamber and was the last guy, now they've made enough sympathy for people to see him want to win. But the build wasn't there prior. It was a split decision. And because it was a split decision, you don't have as much believability behind the person as champion. So, like, if we were to just strap, I think the only person they could strap up right now who is a newer guy, maybe two people they could strap up right now who's a newer guy that would be completely believable as champion is Braun Breaker, newer guy. I think Braun Breaker, they've done enough to build. I think it's a fringe to say, but it's possible to say Oba.
I was going to say it.
The reason I say it's a fringe is because they're still in the process of building him up. And the only time that he's really had a match, he did well in the Rumble, but then he got unceremoniously dumped out by somebody. So I'm not saying he looked bad in the Rumble, but at the same time, we didn't get some huge star-making performance either, I don't think.
That's true.
I think we got a solid performance. I think he looks dominant. But to say that I came out of that Rumble thinking, oh, wow, Oba's a threat, I don't think I was there yet. And right now he's coming out. Now they built some nice credibility when it came to killing the War Raiders.
Yeah.
I think killing Kit Wilson was to the side. Like, it's whatever. They needed to get it across, but it doesn't do too much. He needs to get into a feud with somebody. And I know people are going to talk Lesnar. I know people are going to talk Lesnar for him at Mania, and I think it's too soon. In the sense that I don't think we get him and Lesnar.
Yeah, we're not going to get him then.
And if
unless
we
they
do get,
do his last match.
here's the other problem though, voice. If we do get him and Lesnar at Mania, who do you think is going over?
Well, that we don't need to talk about
It's
that.
Lesnar.
I know.
Lesnar would
I
be
didn't
going
want to
over.
say it.
Because until Lesnar faces Gunther,
Yeah.
Lesnar's going over.
Yeah.
And right now, Oba can't take that loss to Lesnar.
So that okay. So that makes perfect sense.
And
That's
just to not to knock on Trick Willie, but I think Trick Williams is getting set up right now. But I couldn't put a belt on him not a world championship right now. I
yeah.
could put a mid-tier title on him, but if we're looking specifically at world titles, I don't think he's been built up enough against people.
And that's what you're speaking on. You're not speaking on just these guys as just who they are right now.
As a potential,
yes,
Javon Evans and Oba are all future world champions.
Yeah, exactly. Hands down. You can't. We can take that to Vegas.
I'm talking
and make that
right
bet.
now because they've been on main roster for about 2 months, and I get that the NXT place isn't exactly not talked about anymore. So there is some level of build from there, but at the same time, NXT is still not viewed at the level of main roster.
Yeah, your main roster viewer, if they're just your basic viewer, they're not going to really know what's happening over at NXT. So, but I do think that Oba, and going off of what you're saying,
on him, but I just don't think world title right now. Like if we're talking Mania matches, I don't think Oba right now.
Yeah. And plus what you just said, because that's been my main focus with him. I thought that put a title on him, let him go. Let's see what he can do. But what you were just saying makes a whole lot more sense for him. And then the addition to Brock, I don't think we're going to get Oba versus Brock. And that's got to be okay.
Loss.
No. And that's got to be okay because we do need to see that story built up. We need Brock built up as big as we can get him. So when Gunther takes him down, his story's more impactful.
Yeah.
What Gunther's side of the story is the bigger talk.
There's a lot of things they're sacrificing for Gunther right now.
Yeah.
And I've never been more convinced that they have faith in a guy than I think Gunther.
Dude,
they literally let him retire. And now, granted, we can argue the semantics of retiring someone who's already announcing their last match, which would be Goldberg and Cena in this case. But it was their last match, and he was the last person to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is semantics to say that he retired them. Who it isn't semantics with is AJ and how they built the story that way.
Yeah, he retired his ass.
He retired his ass.
Yeah.
It was a career versus match. That was what it was and built as. It wasn't built as Cena's glorious last match. No.
Yeah,
Because
and I
was
think
retiring even if he won. We knew that.
Yeah, and it was a smart play too because if you're going to tell that story with Gunther being the main character,
you need to make sacrifices.
Yeah, you got to do things like
Gunther
that.
Also, in speaking about what we're talking about, which is building someone up, Gunther has been built up over the last 3-4 years.
Very true.
As a killing machine. He is a man who eats a pinfall loss twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be shocked if he ate no pinfalls this year.
No.
And we get out of matches just like we did with the AJ Styles one where he tapped to the side, the ref didn't see it, and he cheated out of it. Gives him an out. Gives the other guy an out. You get those finishes. But what we're going to see is him retire a few more people. Probably Ray at Mania, I would imagine. That would make the most sense to me.
Yeah.
I don't think Orton's ready to retire yet, so I don't think
we still got
for a while.
Maybe
I think we got
a year
Orton
or
for
two.
another year or two.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
And I think Punk is the same way. I think it's another year or two based on what he's said. Roman is also another year or two. Again, we got a lot of people retiring, so we got to do something here.
Yeah.
Brock, I think, is going to be SummerSlam.
Yeah, he'll be the one right after Ray.
And we don't necessarily need Gunther to career kill people every single time he has a match. We can do feuds in between where someone tries to teach him something. It's fine. It doesn't have to be like, oh, well, you're facing me, therefore I need your career on the line. We don't need that.
Put that career on the line,
Put that career
man.
on the line, boy.
I love it.
But like, there's so many things to do with Gunther, and they're putting so much resources into it. Gunther is the next Brock Lesnar. I know people want to view Oba as the next Brock Lesnar, and I think his ascendancy will feel more like Brock Lesnar.
That's where I'm at with that.
Oba's ascendancy will feel more like Brock Lesnar than Gunther's does. Yeah. That being said, if we're talking about roles in the WWE locker room and on the card, Gunther is Lesnar, because Gunther, no offense to The Rock, Gunther is the final boss. That's who they're gearing him up to be, because before that, who was the final boss? Brock.
He was the end boss you did not want to face, especially if you were low on ammo.
Mm-hmm. He was Dark Souls.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff. I mean, this discussion, I mean, we're coming up to, like we said, Brock's already talked about SummerSlam. He's done.
Yeah.
It's his final. So, to get this match with him and Gunther, which we're predicting, but I mean, come on, that's what you're telling us in the story. So we can already assume what's going to happen. I'm there with it. I like it. But speaking of maybe twisting things to get what you want, we had a promo between the man herself, Becky Lynch, and AJ Lee. And I will say this, we have been talking a couple weeks about AJ not being around. We haven't seen her. We haven't seen any build for anything. And now we do have a build. She twisted her way into a title match.
I loved how she did it too.
And she did it very well. I will say with AJ, it was like, it was watching somebody that you've seen do that exact same thing, but tweak it to now, to where she is now. Like when she does her like turn and look with her eyes, she now does this bicep flex because she's got big ass biceps now. Yeah. I mean, she's ripped now. Back in the day when she did it, it was more of a like where she would cross her arms and do things like that. It wasn't showing the muscles in the definition. So I like that thing because it's another evolution to her. I think I'm interested in this match, Kevin, because we have Becky Lynch who's here doing it. She's phenomenal at what she does. She's been having some great storylines, and AJ, this is going to be her first solo performance since she's been back. Like her official story going into it by herself. There's no CM Punk unless they do something with, I don't know what they could do, but I'm looking forward to it. I want to gauge where you're at, Kevin. Where are you at on both ladies and this storyline specifically?
I think that this is a good storyline. I think we end up maybe getting some more wrinkles before we get to Mania, but this singles match has to happen first. Both women can cut promos and make me believe when they're on and they want to do it. Becky's been having some of the most inspired promo work of her life recently. And I think this is the best I've seen since the man came around the first time, because there was some time in between with Big Time Bex where it was nice at the beginning of it, but then it was like, but now what are we talking about?
Yeah.
But now what are we talking about?
I
haven't had that during this run since she came back last Mania. She's been just diving more and more into her insanity and diving more and more into her self-loving, I guess is a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Because she just keeps putting herself over and over and over.
She puts herself over.
Yeah. She puts herself over like nobody else. And AJ, while she's not there that often, she's still a very impactful person. I think if we saw AJ every week, we wouldn't end up as impactful as we are right now for this match. Because if we if this was a match we were waiting to start for the road to WrestleMania, if AJ Lee was around since she was first around in September, we had already lost interest in this match. In the sense of like, we already see them there. They already have issues. Why haven't they had a match? Why haven't we done this? But with AJ Lee being gone, it became a question of, oh, when is she coming back? Oh, AJ's going to come back here. Oh, AJ's going to come back there. And then she didn't. And then she didn't. And then she didn't. And then she popped up on Raw.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, shit.
Out of nowhere.
And the second we saw her, we're like, oh, here it comes, Becky Lynch. Here it comes, Becky Lynch. And they wasted no time.
No.
And I appreciate that they got to the point. I think, and I also think there's a logical way and reason to say that AJ Lee deserves a title shot here.
Okay, now this is an interesting point because that's Becky Lynch was saying, where the fuck have you been? How do you just get a title shot?
And I understand where she's coming from, but Becky's last 3 losses, 2 of them came to AJ Lee.
Well, yeah.
You beat the champ twice.
Well,
tapped her out twice, in fact.
Technically, yes. I mean,
the only other loss was because of Maxine, right? Maxine beat her. Hey, who caused that loss?
Well, Kevin, I mean, yeah, put her in the title picture. You definitely got me there, man. Okay.
There's plenty of other times where, they bring back part-timers here or there. And I don't really have the issue with part-timers that I think I have in the past, where I feel like they haven't been there. Why should they just be inserted? Because I tend to look at it as, okay, if the part-timer is a larger draw and we're going into Mania season, find a reason. Because you want to sell tickets and you want to get the best matches out of it. You want to get the matches that people will be the most hyped about.
That they want to see at a Mania.
Sometimes that involves part-timers. Sometimes they over part-timer it. I won't defend all of them. And sometimes they're too reliant on it. But as far as this one, this is something that's been built since WrestlePalooza. AJ Lee has a valid reason to want a title shot and deserve a title shot. She beat Becky and caused the other loss to Becky. She has been Becky's thorn. So why doesn't she get a title shot?
That's a great point, Kevin.
Now, like, you can bring up a reason other than the Royal Rumble being won. Like, I could see Roman maybe because people are whatever, but like winning the Rumble is the only thing that needs to qualify that. It's an unfortunate reality.
Yeah.
Because that's literally the lottery ticket match, right? That's what it is. It's a lottery ticket match. Yeah. And I understand the issues with the Roman thing. I didn't have issues with it, but I was very questioning about it when it happened, where he won the Rumble. And then, boy, he came out on Raw the next day and looked at Punk in the face and chose him. And all of a sudden, I didn't care anymore. Yeah, they made me care in one promo. I guess I said that in the chat quite a few times.
You did. You really did.
I don't remember if I said it last week, but I've been saying it since it happened.
I mean, honestly, if I'm going to be 100% with you, since I've met you, I have never heard you pop for Roman.
No,
and
I'm fine with Roman.
Yeah,
but I've
never heard you speak ill of him either.
Yeah, I don't speak ill of him. There's no reason to. He's one of the largest draws they have in the company. There's a reason he keeps coming around and can do any matches he wants. But like, I haven't exactly been putting Roman over either and going out of my way. This was worth putting over. Yeah,
that promo was fantastic.
Yeah. And depending on where they want to go and where they're going with the matches, and I still do understand people's hate with like someone who's been established winning a Rumble.
We get it, Fightins.
I truly get it. And this is not to disparage your opinion, because it is, at the end of the day, your opinion as well. And it's not a bad thing to have that. That being said, just coming at it from a standpoint of where you want to go for Mania and what matches can be the biggest, it looks like they're setting up Cody and Drew again.
Interesting.
So what was the alternative to winning that Rumble?
Hey, and that was something you brought up. that way you just brought that up was something we talked about a couple weeks ago, and you brought it up the same way. Like, what is the alternative then? You tell me. I can't.
Because otherwise you're changing your entirety of the Mania title matches.
Yeah.
And granted, you can do that. So that is an option. But if they're locked into those two matches, let's assume maybe Jacob Fatu is in with a triple threat with Cody and Drew. But he's not quite inserted yet. The biggest issue is really between Cody and Drew. So Cody would be the next logical winner of the Rumble. And I think people would have revolted if it was Cody again.
I think they would have too.
I think it would have been like Roman 2015 levels of boo, like Boo in the Rock levels of boos. And it's not an indictment of Cody. It's just that people were sick of seeing him win it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
No,
so if that's where we're at and those are the matches we're going to, it had to be Roman. I guess the only other alternative is changing who was going to be in the title matches. Technically, you could have had Jacob Fatu win it too. That would have been the only other option if you're making one of them a triple threat match. Because then Jacob Fatu can call out Drew, do that. And you can have Cody say, hey, I have a personal issue with Drew. He screwed me over. Yada, yada, yada. And then Jacob Fatu screwed me over. So why does he get to jump me too? And you have a whole thing where they have a triangle of hatred. That's the triangle of hatred that I was talking about that Finn and Roman and Punk don't have.
Yeah.
But Drew, Fatu, and Cody do have that.
It's already built.
So I do think I'm talking myself into an alternative they could have done. And that was have Jacob Fatu win.
Wouldn't that have been crazy?
That would have been crazy. It doesn't bother me that Roman won in hindsight now, only because I get to see the promo, but I was very inquisitive at the time of what we're doing here.
Well, and I mean, honestly, I think you could have got to that.
Yeah.
You could have got to that without Roman winning the Rumble.
I think you could have too.
But they're doing it this way, which makes it's easy.
It's still Occam's razor. It's also still Occam's razor.
Yeah.
In the sense of this is the easiest way to get there between both parties.
And sometimes that makes the best story that you're going to tell, especially
digestible.
It's easily digestible. And plus they need to make money and they know it. It's the biggest event of the year. Come on. Like we're not going to see the last time I remember seeing a match that like, I was like, does everybody know backstage that this is how they planned on doing it? Was the hardcore triple threat match, Big Show, Raven, and Kane.
Oh, I love that.
That's when I was like,
back and watch that.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not sure everybody knew what was happening.
Everyone was on board for that.
Yeah, which is one of my favorite matches. I love that match. But
I also think when it comes to these things, you have to see where everything can fit in. And it was just the easiest way to do it. And
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And Breaker getting hurt, I think, really affects Mania. OG Tony.
Yeah.
I think it really affects it. Because my assumption, if they're running this masked man angle, which we can talk about that part next too, after we hit this real quick. And I know we're running out of time. But it seems like they're setting up Rollins to return. But now who does he return against? Because Breaker was the guy. Breaker was the guy who manned the mutiny of the whole Vision, right? He got Bronson Reed to come along with it. He got Paul Heyman to come along with it.
True.
And then they recruited Logan Paul afterwards. So Seth doesn't really have an issue with Logan Paul other than he's in the Vision. He doesn't really have an issue with Austin Theory. He's just in the Vision. Like, it seems like that's what the setup was. So now what do they do? Do we drag this out until Bron Breaker is hopefully back? Because that sounds stupid. Because then we're just running Masked Man for the next 4 to 5 months. And I'm sick of it at month 4 already.
Me too. I just want to know.
I don't. It's not an issue to me to not know something, but now it's overused because they always, whenever someone is returning, ever someone's coming out, what the fuck are they dressed in?
Well, it's not
Hoodie
it's
and it's
not.
a mask.
No. Yes, it is.
It's a hoodie and a mask. So it's
Yeah.
the same guy.
Yeah.
Same thing they've been doing for everybody. Jacob Fatu came back, hoodie and a mask. Jimmy Uso comes back, hoodie and a
Hoodie and a
mask.
That's
Fucking Tama Tonga debuts, hoodie and a
hoodie and
mask.
mask. Yeah.
Tongalo is out there, hoodie and a
Hoodie and
mask.
mask. I love it. I love it, but yes, I know what you mean.
It's a meme at
It's
this point.
over. Yeah. Once you begin meme territory, it's time to shift gears and do something different.
Yeah.
And
I think
I agree.
I think Fighting also is getting at what about Logan for winning the Rumble? I just don't think he factors into the world title picture yet in that way. Not on that grand of a stage. I think Logan is a good draw for Mania, but I don't think he's your Mania main event. I would put it that way. Not in his current state. Again, this is a guy who still needs to get built up. The fact that he has a following is good because the following helps bring in dollars, and that's business. But as far as believability coming into championship matches, I don't think a lot of people are going to believe that Logan Paul can beat CM Punk or Drew.
Not yet.
Not yet. And I think given it, I'm not saying he won't be world champ because I think he will be world champ. And I keep saying he could be world champ within a year, every single year, because he is, in fact, good.
Yeah, he is good.
And he could be, we could be having a very different discussion next year at Mania, but as he is, he's currently an underling in the Vision. I just don't believe him winning the Royal Rumble without there being some other issue within the Vision.
No, that makes sense. I can take that and be like, yeah, okay. That makes sense why they didn't go with Logan.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could have, but in the same sense, though,
I
out
think,
of everybody who's in that's not your biggest bag you're gonna get out of it.
I also think they went with a safer pick this year because last year they didn't. They risked it all on Jey Uso. And it didn't end up working as well throughout the year for whatever reason.
It did some things.
I'm not saying it wasn't a nice build to Mania. I think it was a decent build to Mania. But at the same time, we had a deflating finish to the match. So it didn't feel like having Gunther tap out, I don't think was as big as having a huge pop of him being pinned.
Yeah.
So there's that part. But also the follow-up reign of Jey Uso. It just didn't go anywhere. So we did it all for a moment, and it ended up more like Kofi's reign than it did anyone else's, where it just ended with a fart. And this is where we're at.
Yeah.
So it doesn't shock me that they went with a safer bet this year, and they're going with safer matches this year. They're going with their stars. The largest risk they're doing is probably taking Drew into Mania with the title, which is not that large of a risk.
No, it's really not. No, it's not. All right. Do we have any more topics that we need to hit before we tap out?
LA Knight, yeah, qualifies for that Elimination Chamber.
He did qualify.
Big on that. I do want to see what he does on the main stage with Punk at some point. I just don't know we want to see it at Mania. I would love to see him do that with Punk, though. I think him and Punk would have an excellent match.
I would kind of like to see it at Backlash.
I think Backlash is a great place for it because I don't presume that Roman will win the title. I think Gunther's going to dethrone CM Punk because that will give the prize fighter aspect to Brock. And then Gunther versus Brock for the title is SummerSlam. That's my assumption. Which is a large assumption, but we'll see. LA Knight, criminally underutilized, in my opinion. Somehow always gets over. He could be a dark horse guy that ends up getting a title reign at some point this year, but I've been saying that for a year too.
Yeah, there's a lot of people been saying that.
I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know if it's backstage stuff. I just don't know. I just don't see why he hasn't gotten larger opportunities with larger opponents because he proves it time and time again that he can go in there and do it. The only thing that sometimes he stumbles with people is promos. But even then, he always brings it back somehow. So I can't fault him for that. What else was on Raw? Oh, man.
Rhea, she got her Elimination Chamber.
Rhea, yep.
Natty,
Oh,
Natty
Natty,
coming
yeah.
attacking Maxine, and then AJ Lee coming out and getting attacked.
So I think we might be headed. I kind of alluded to this earlier with Becky and AJ, because we're getting the Becky and AJ singles match at Elimination Chamber. I think we might get a triple threat at Mania or a different singles match, depending on which way they go. They put AJ over for the title. I could see it being a triple threat or a singles. They put Becky over for the title. I foresee a triple threat.
Yeah.
And that's between Becky, AJ, and Natty.
I think that's the route they're going to go for Mania.
Think that's the route. You might be able to add in a Maxine if you're really feeling frisky.
Ooh, a fatal four.
A fatal four-way. I think you could do that. Now, I think I would prefer it as a triple threat, but I do understand that Maxine is deep within this story too. So a fatal four-way does make sense, and the distribution of faces versus heels within the match would work, because it's 2 faces, 2 heels, good to go.
Perfect.
So I think that works too, and I think that's where I think we're at least headed to Natty being inserted into this at minimum, because Natty is also, remember, who eliminated Becky Lynch in the Royal Rumble,
and we need that. If Natalya Natty now is going to be around for a bit, we need Natty in a Mania now.
Yeah, we need it now.
It's just
this is the time to capitalize on the
exactly.
momentum.
That's exactly where
I don't want it to be Natty versus Maxine in a singles match.
No.
I want it to be a bit more frantic with something on the line.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that one. Any last things? We had Rhea. She got her chamber.
She got her chamber. It was a largely forgettable match because it felt like it was very callable at the beginning, that it was going to be Rhea to me. I saw some people complaining that why are we putting Rhea in these matches? She's a tag champ. Fuck off.
Yeah.
She's a bigger star.
What are you doing over there?
You want to load up your elimination chambers with big stars who you think might win. And Rhea, at any point you put her in a match, you might think she wins because of how she's been booked and what you've been made to believe. Again, the buildup.
Yeah.
You've built up a star to think, oh, she could win at any time.
And she does.
And if you put Lyra in there, that's just another person who's going to get murdered on the way to someone else winning the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my personal opinion. That's what I see. It's cool if people wanted to see Lyra instead of Rhea, and for Rhea to work on the tag titles more. I understand that. But when we're looking at people who could possibly win a match or give a rub to someone else who's winning a match, Rhea's the right call.
100%.
Largely forgettable match, though. There was some miscues and things in it. They did their best.
Yeah.
They did their best. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. It was a high energy match, you know.
It was, and sometimes things can go a little wonky worvy.
Yeah, exactly. They gave their all, though. I mean, it's not the worst match I ever seen.
Oh God, no, it's not even close.
Yeah, exactly. But we did have Rhea advance, so that leaves opportunities for possibly Lyra and Ivy to have some type of feud, because I would like to see a little more of that. I would like to see those two kind of getting a couple more matches with each other, maybe figure each other out and have a solid match.
Mm-hmm.
But
and I think they can.
I think they can too.
They can
easily. All right. So Kevin, does that leave us where we're at with Raw until next week, or
until next week?
I think so.
I think we covered it. I think we at least hit bullet points. We got into a lot of good discussions.
We did. We touched.
We went on some side quests today, boys, but they were good side quests.
We went on
some meaningful side quests. There was a lot of XP.
Sometimes a side quest will distract you. But yes, we had a great time. Yeah, fans, that was a little fallout thing between me and there. Kevin Kalloway, you gotta watch, you'll understand. But yeah, so next Monday Night Raw, looking forward to it. Can't wait to see where we go. Hopefully Stephanie Valkyrie keeps that momentum she's building. I think it's working for her. Mm-hmm. And the CM Punk energy, I'm loving it. He's right in the pocket where he needs to be. Speaking of that, Kevin Kalloway, let them know where they can find you and all that damn chaos you create.
Whew, that's me. You can follow me on Kevin Kalloway on Facebook. You can follow me on Kalloway Kevin on Instagram. I've started to hook up the old IYH page with some top 3 lists. I'll be filming more of those this week.
Great stuff.
Sending them in. We're hoping to get 2 a week out. real short, digestible. Tell me your opinions. Tell me your things. Everyone can have different opinions based on different standards for every top list. But the important thing is that we can all have a discussion and talk about it. And I had a nice chat with Chat Chief in the comments about some of the things for the most chaotic wrestlers, and I thought that was fun.
Yes, you did. That did spark some conversation.
Yeah. So you get in there, I see those comments, and I like to comment myself and have a discussion.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear people's feedback, and I'd love to hear people, give me their top 3. And then also this week, Friday, the Open Challenge returns.
Ooh.
This Friday, somebody steps up, some poor unfortunate soul steps up at New Edge Pro Wrestling for this elevation title at My Bloody Valentine.
Ooh.
Out at the Hazel Park.
Hazel Park.
Not even close. Hazel Park Recreation Center, the home of New Edge. Step up, boys. Come on.
Oh,
am I going to retire with this thing? My back's starting to hurt. I can't. My boots are getting real tight now, man. Can I just leave them in the ring and leave the belt with it? Because, y'all, I feel like I'm just not leaving it in a good place for the wrestling industry in the Michigan area if you guys can't beat me.
Well, if they can't beat you, take it with you, man. Don't even leave it with the boots,
brother.
Leave
I'm a
the
teacher.
boots
I
and
like to know that the
go.
future. I like to know that the future is ready for when I'm gone.
It doesn't sound like
these motherfuckers keep proving me wrong. Proving me wrong in the bad way, where I keep beating them.
Yeah. Well, they got to try harder, Kevin. They got to try harder. All right. So if you loved all that chaos that Kevin creates, go follow him. Go have some fun. He's a fun follow and a good discussion. But always remember, be kind when you're leaving comments. Give your opinions and give them with some oomph, but be kind. All right. So fans, if you enjoyed what you liked here and seen and spend an hour with us, you could come back next Tuesday at the same time, same place, same IYH channel, and you can enjoy a different conversation, but about the same show. You know how it goes. I mean, it's pretty follow. Like, you can follow this. This is pretty easy stuff. But it's a Monday Night Raw discussion between me and Kevin Kalloway. Fun time, great discussion. Outside of that, there is a show on Wednesday. It is the ECW Watch Along. It is me and House, and we watch ECW. There's fire, barbed wire, chairs, bats, anything you could think of. I've seen a vacuum cleaner. Yes, one of the old ones that you used and you had to change the bags out. New Jack used it. Crushed Tommy Dreamer's testicles. It was an amazing time and a fun time. You should come and hang out with me and House at 6 p.m. on a Wednesday. Outside of that, it's AEW Dynamite. Yeah, review show with me and OG Tony, and of course House himself. And we're going to talk about AEW Dynamite, and we're going to recap it. We're going to tell you what we like, what we may have done differently, but we're going to have a discussion about it, and we invite you to do that with us. And that is 6 p.m. on a Thursday. Fans, lastly, Sunday house party. It's on a Sunday. It's at 1 p.m. It's where you can come and you can hear us talk about all types of things. You can see the guests we bring on. We just had a content creator, about 3 or 4 shows of those. And they were some great hosts that came on, Dirt Sheets, all those guys. It was a fun time. We can't wait to pick that back up and bring some more people who do what we do into our space. So fans, if you love it, you like it, subscribe to it and check us out, because we are moving fast. We told you guys and showed you guys we are in the charts. We are in the charts and they're fun. So come and hang out with us. Make us go higher in the charts. We like to get high. I like to get high. I can't speak for everybody. But anyway,
everybody in the chat does.
I do too. But I've seen some of your comments, fans. I know what you're doing. Shame. Anyway, so for me, the voice, Joshua Joseph, and my friend Kevin Kalloway, he is a Chaos Goblin. We will see you next week. Have a great one. Bye.